Good morning and welcome to the great big old state of Texas. How y'all doing today? Londa Putt here. Today I'm going to do several resin projects. I have a little tray I'm going to put dried flowers in. Another tray, little window hanger that I'm going to put dried flowers in. Two roses that I'm going to put in these. I'm going to put a few little dried flowers in this one. Or I might pull another rose, a tiny rose. Let me see if I have another tiny rose over here. Oh, there's one. Okay, I have one more tiny little rose here that I might put in that one, if it'll fit. Oh, it does. Oh, almost. And trim a couple of little prongs off of there, so it will fit down in there. Let's see now if it'll fit. Oh yeah, I can make that fit in there. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 roses. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this white rose or peach colored rose, which is kind of yellow, in the big one, or if I'm going to do this pretty red rose in there. But I'll figure it out. The flat ones are going to have some of these dried flowers in them. These are just flattened out dried flowers. I've got some coasters. I've got some glitter that I want to try. I've got some dragonfly glaze that I might put in with one of the roses. And whatever other colors I think of to mix up. Let me grab my alcohol inks real quick. I'm going to mix my resin and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my resin poured, or mixed I mean, and I poured half in each one of these little containers, a little less than half, because I'm going to let that set up and get all the bubbles and stuff out before I put the flowers in so they won't float. I put a little tiny bit of resin in this tray, if you can see that, just for a test to make sure it's going to come out so I know if I need to line it or not. I've put a little resin in here, and I'm going to mix some of my glitter in that. I got these really cool mixing spoons from Loli Veffy. I just love them. So I'm going to use those to scoop my glitter. I'm going to be using, let me get the tape off of it, Martha Stewart Craft, which is, this is, the color is, let me see if I can find it. Color is Tencel. It's a Tencel glitter. Well, that can't be the color. That's the kind of glitter it is. Oh, Florentine Gold Tencel glitter. And I'll be using Hemway's Craft Glitter. And I'm going to mix the two of them because this one is purples and blues and silvers, if you can see that. And this one is gold. So I'm going to mix the two because I want both of those in there. This is brand new. Haven't opened it yet. Hopefully I won't get glitter everywhere. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to scoop a little bit of this. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. I've got to bring you down. Just give me a minute. And I've got to get me one of those little desktop glitter vacuums. Have you seen those? They're amazing when you're working with glitter. They're about as big as your hand, and you just go, and it suctions up all of your glitter. So what you don't pour back into your tray, or wherever you're pouring it back into, wipe that on paper towel, you can suck it up. And this one has a pouring spout and a shaking spout, so I'm just going to pour some of that in there. I don't want the gold to overtake it, I just want it to enhance it. So we'll see how that does. And I'll bring you down so you can see better. Let me move these back so I can move my project up where you can see it better. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this glitter in with the stir stick here into my little bit of resin. And I want it quite thick because I like my resin with my glitter to be quite thick. So it kind of can tend to stay where I want it to a little better. Oh, the purple kind of disappeared on me. A little more purple in there then. Can't have disappearing glitter. I'm sorry you won't be able to see my face this way, but I'm going to bring you down some more so you can see what I'm doing here in just a second. Get a jar for this. I've got one somewhere. Okay, I'm also going to put a couple drops of this dragonfly glaze in it. I should say a splooch because that's more of a splooch than a drop. Oh, that's better. Okay, can you see that? The color of it. I probably should have mixed it in something clear, but this is what it... The gold's still a little prominent, but that's all right. Can always mix up just some purple. Yeah, I can't talk today. The purple... What is that? Alcohol ink. I gotta turn my other little fan on. It's hot today again here. Okay, I'm going to pop some bubbles out of these right now. First thing I'm going to do is blow this glitter, as much of it as I can, off of my table. So I'm not getting it in the rest of my stuff that I'm not working on yet. Okay. The bubbles on this all get into a little cluster in the middle. So that works really good popping it. These should be... It's not many in this casting. Oh, my resin is Culture Cast casting resin. I love it. I use it for everything. Let me see what my dog is barking at here. Okay, another little thing I did while you were off camera were these two little tiny molds here. I have some little teeny tiny dried flowers in them. My granddaughter wanted a half thickness necklace with dried flowers. So she picked some out, and then I picked some from our yard yesterday, and I have a ton of flowers drying. So I'm going to just pop the bubbles out of these. And in a little bit I'll have to poke those flowers down some more so that they will quit floating. Okay, let's see, what were we going to do next? We were going to do this little, I did one of these for my house. Let's see. Here it is. I did this for my kitchen window. If you can see that, how adorable is that? But I touched it to test the resin, and it made a big blooble in it. So I have to sand this one, but I still think it's very beautiful. So I'm going to make another one, only I'm going to put a little bit of the glitter behind it. So it's going to be in 2 pours. I'll put the dried flowers in with a little resin. Just like these small ones, I'll let that dry overnight. Just like the roses will be drying overnight. And then we'll do another pour on them and finish them tomorrow. This is kind of what the roses are going to look like. I've done a couple of them. This little one in a heart. And these are available if you're interested in them. This is a little floating rose in a heart. And this is one in a cube. And this was a redo, so it does have some floating bubbles underneath it, which I think just makes it look much better, but it's also available if that doesn't bother you. I'll sell that one for $10. The small one is also $10, the little heart rose. Okay, so let's start with these. Oh, I didn't think about my pan with these little dried flowers. Let me just move it to the side a little bit so it doesn't blow them all over because they're so tiny and delicate. So let's pull these out. And I'm going to go around and point my camera down some more so you can actually see what I'm doing instead of looking at me. Okay, I will move these over. I've got to keep the roses in front of the ones that I'm putting them in. I'll save that other red one and do the white one today. Okay, these are the dried flowers once again. Put my lamp that way. There's daisies and starflowers. There's baby's breath and some little leaves in there. And these I got on Amazon. And I think the whole package was, I want to say $8, and there were 35 flowers or something like that in there. So first thing we're going to do is pour this little tray half full of resin. I've got both ends of that stick in there now. Get another baby's wipe, or 1.5 or 2, just to wipe my finger off with. Okay, now I'm going to look and make sure there's nothing floating in there. I'm going to take all the resin off of here, except for maybe just a little tiny bit on the tip. Because I want to be able to touch these. And this is a little leaf, but it's also got a little I want to say crown of thorn flower on it, which I know is wrong, but I've got to get it off of there. I should have done that first. I was trying to do that with the stick. Okay, let me get a toothpick, or I'll get a mixer here. Maybe it's just grown onto the back of it. I can't get that one off. Okay, that's okay. We'll just leave it there. I'm gonna get one of these stems of leaves. Now I'm putting these all face down because they'll be face up when we take this out of the mold. I'm just making sure all the leaves, I start at the center and work them out just so they don't get bubbles under them. And I also do that with the flowers. So I'm just going to make sure there's no bubbles under this. And then I'm going to pull it down to the position I want it in. If I can get it, oops, one little leaf came off. I can get it to move. It doesn't want to move very good. Put those leaves back over there. Okay, I've got some bubbles coming up from underneath the leaves, and you'll see that. So just watch for that and just keep squishing them down. They'll come out. Okay, now this is what was underneath that leaf, and I know that Artsy Mad Woman, Heather, please tell me what this is. I know it's one of your favorites, so I'm going to put it right here. It reminds me of part of a dandelion when you blow it in the wind. Okay, and this is a little daisy, and it's stuck to my finger. See if I can turn it over so I can show it to you. Whoops, dropped it right on my painting. I'm trying to get it to you right side up here. It looks like there's more than one there. Are there two stuck together? Ah, I lost a leaf. I'll put it in my petal, I should say. And, oh, I see what it is. It's one of those, another one of those things on there. And I'll put the flower at the top. Push it down in the center. And then I'm going to push each petal down. Try to make sure that I don't have any bubbles under them. Move this little petal over here. And this one here. Come on. Oh, that one doesn't want to move. Okay. Once they're stuck down and they don't have any bubbles under them, they do not want to move very much. So I'm going to put this one down, but I'm going to turn it over so you can see the other side of it that has a little twirly wig on it. And let me see, I should have pulled these apart when I didn't have gloves and resin all over me. This is Baby's Breath. There's not much on there, but I'm still going to put it in here. Let's see. I used to be a florist, so I'm kind of trying to make like a little flower arrangement. I just got my finger in there with these, so that when you see it from the front, you're like, oh, that's a beautiful flower arrangement. I think this is a star flower, or is that a daisy? I can't remember my flowers. It's been too many years ago. Way too many years ago. Okay, this looks like a star flower and a daisy stuck together. Come on, come apart. Nope, just one. So we're going to put it right here. Get that baby's breath to stay down there. This one has a lot of petals on it, like double petals. I still think they're just stuck together from my resiny hands the last time I worked with them. Okay, let's see, what else do I want in there? I want one of these teeny tiny little daisies in there. And let me see what else we have here. We have some baby's breath and some more petals, which are fine. Just put them behind the leaves. They'll look like little flowers growing. And I'm going to just separate these other flowers out because I'm going to be using some of them in other things. I'm going to put this other daisy down here. And then I think this one is plentiful. Okay, now I'm going to wipe off the ends of my stick, put it back up there. I'm going to take this baby's wipe and wipe the edge of this where it dripped on it. I'm going to get some of the bubbles out. And I will lay it up here so you can see it. Okay, let me see here. Okay, now I'm going to put these flowers in and I'm going to hold them up to show you how I do this. Because if you notice, they all have little petals, if I can find you. So there's going to be air pockets in those petals unless you do this. You dip it sideways into your resin. And then you lift it up, and then you dip the other side in your resin. And I lift it up, and I hold it over the thing, and I hold it right side up so that resin can run down in between those petals. Then I just simply, if I can get it in there, push it all the way down in there. See? So that it doesn't float. So when that resin dries, we'll put another layer. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one, and this one is a little smaller because this is one from my granddaughter's bouquet from her prom that her boyfriend actually surprised her and had a prom here. So they could get prom pictures taken. Wasn't that sweet? Okay, so you just lift it up, you let that all run in between there. I do it twice just to make sure that I get all the air out. Sorry. And I just turn it upside down, push it to the bottom. I left a little bit of a stem on this one. It might surprise her. And I'm going to look and make sure I get this one right in the middle. Okay. The other one's so big it just fits. So now for this one, this is a rose off of my husband's mother's casket. So I'm going to preserve it for him. And it's dry, but it dried in a completely closed, like a bud. So now that it's dry, I've just been slowly opening it a little bit here and there, just to make it look like it started to bloom. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold that one on. I'm going to dip it. Sorry, I'm going to try to do this over here real quick so I can watch what I'm doing. And as that's running in there, I'm just going to pull those petals apart a little more. And let that run down in there. Dip it again. Do it again. Let it run down in between the petals. I am holding this over the container that it's going in so that it can drip in there. And I'm just going to set it down in. Clean the top up where I dripped at. Wipe off my gloves. And it is in. So I will blow bubbles out of those in just a couple minutes. Okay, let me get a paper towel. Now I had this idea, I'm just going to try it on one of these coasters and see if it works. If it works, then I might go ahead and do more of them. But I got these really cool little wood coasters and little round square coasters and round coasters. They're 4 inches a piece. And I'm going to try putting some of this glitter on here because you know wood breathes, correct? So if you don't put something on it, it's going to create more bubbles. But I thought if I put the glitter on and then some flowers on top of the glitter facing up, that it might just going to put that much on there. And I'm going to hold it over here so you can see the glitter. And I'm just going to spread it around a little bit. That dog is going to get head-butted, and she's not going to like it if she doesn't quit messing with that stallion, or that racehorse out there. We have a retired racehorse, and she shakes her head yes and no. It's so funny. She loves my husband, and he'll go out there and he'll ask her if she wants a carrot, and she'll shake her head up and down, almost from the ground all the way up as high as she can get it. And then he'll say, "Oh wait, I have nuts today. Do you want nuts?" And she'll shake her head no. It's the funniest thing ever. And she will follow him anywhere thinking that he has a carrot or a piece of broccoli or some kind of vegetable that she loves. So funny. But she's going to wave her head up and down and butt that dog even though he's on the other side of the fence. She's tall enough she can reach down that far. Okay, I'm going to see what that looks like over here closer where I can see. Bring my light over here. Maybe you can see that better. Well, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? What do you think? A little bling bling there. Okay. Now I'm going to put some flowers on, so I'm going to put one of these on, And look at the little curly cues at the top. Is that not amazing? Where are you? You can't see the camera. I'm getting too close. Look at the little curly cues on top. Look at that. Love those. Okay, so we're going to put it right side up this time. Push it down. You don't have to worry so much about bubbles, because we're just going to let these dry on here like this, and then I'll coat them with resin later on. So we'll put a flower, not both of those, on there. Whoops, I should have brought that down further. I always forget to bring them down where I need them at. Oh well, I'll just put the flower over here on this side. And then I'll put one, this one. Come on. Come on. Up here. And some baby's breath. This little tiny daisy, I think this is the last real daisy that I have left here. Oh no, there's another big one there. Okay, not too sure about that. But tell me what you think in your comments, and you'll see it when it's got the top coat on it. And I'm sure it will look a lot different with the top coat on it. So I'll set that there. I think I'm done with those for right now. Oh. I'm so sorry about her barking. She's a German Shepherd, by the way, and she's only about, I think she just turned a year old. She just started this thing with the dogs, or with the horse, barking at the horse. Okay, I'm going to pop some more bubbles in these. Don't have any bubbles in that. Okay, let me see. This hasn't been on here very long, but it does wipe off, but that's not what I need to know. So that tray may not be done until tomorrow, because I need to know if it will pop out of there once I put something in there. I'm gonna make some little glitter hearts. I've got little teeny tiny magnets for those, so I thought I'd do those with the glitter. I guess you can see right there, huh? Can you see good enough? Okay. So I'm just going to bring my light around. Sorry, I'm half blind sometimes. I actually had cataracts in my 40s, and they removed them, and I have 20/20 vision supposedly in each eye, except for my up-close stuff. So, with that being said, I have a hard time seeing these little close-up things, and I have a hard time seeing things unless there's light, direct light on them.
little tiny bit more on this one. I guess I may as well fill those 3 up if I have enough stuff here. Now I like to poof, especially when I do little things like this that have a lot of glitter in them. I like to poof them up high above because they do pull away, and I like to sand that little rough pull away part off, but it's hard to do with all the glitter in them. Kind of makes a mess. So I'm going to just try to fill them poofy full, as I call it. Okay. Oh, I almost got that one too full. I'll take a little bit of that out. Put it over here. This one. Ah, I'm going to end up making a mess if I'm not careful. One thing I do like to do is poke the point, make sure there's not a bubble in there. Okay, I'm going to wipe this off, and then I'm going to turn it over and use the flat side. Actually, yeah, we'll see if that'll work to get more of it out. Like I said, I hate to waste anything. I'm in here, baby! My granddaughter, Kinley. Good morning. Can I use your long lighter? Your long one? Yeah. What are you using it for? I just can't really turn it. Okay. In and out, like I said. Okay, that's not doing what I want it to. But I'll wipe that off of there and off of my fingers as much as I can. Uh-oh, my stick split. Garbage! Okay, I'm going to use my little spatula. Got these little spatulas, these little skinny spatulas from, of all places, and they were kind of expensive. They're $10, but they've got a lifetime warranty from Tupperware. Yay! Boy, look at all that. I would have wasted all of that. That's why I got these, is so I could clean cups and stuff out really good. So when you order from me, you will get a little ditty. Well, a little ditty is something little, so you will get a little craft from me, whether it be one of these little hearts or one of the other things I fill at the end of my day. I always have some of these molds out here. Like I have this butterfly one, I have a chrysanthemum, and I have my little baby turtles, which I use in my... Yes, baby! Sorry, excuse me. Okay, thank you. I'm recording, so... Say hi, Kinley. I don't know if they can see you. Oh, no, can't see you. There. There, that was her eye. Okay. Clean that off. My baby wipe. Get all the glitter off of it. Pick up, I saw a hair there. And an eyelash, which I lose. Losing my hair, too, so it's all medical stuff. I take too many medications. Oh, so get all this stuff off that I can so it doesn't go in my resin. Oh, those aren't hairs. Those are those little curly things off of those plants. Okay, let me wipe that off. I use a lot of baby wipes. I get the cheapest ones I can find. First let me wipe it into the heart. That'll work. And I'll wipe it off. I don't like any cleanup on my molds afterwards if I can help it. I'm a little OCD that way. That's why I'm always touching and cleaning. Okay, so there's some of our little hearts. Little glitter hearts. I told you we're doing lots of little things today, right? Actually, I should probably see if there's any bubbles in them. Shouldn't be. This is casting resin, so do it from up high, just little feet. I think what I'm going to do, though, is take some of this out of these up here in the front and do 2 more half-size ones. Because some people don't like big old chunky magnets. Me, I do, but... Oh, I'm spilling it everywhere, everywhere. just wiping everything I can into the molds. Okay, I'm going to tack them down. They will all go down the sides, so I might have a little bit to trim off of each one of just flashing, but that's okay. It's just this way I get 6 instead of 4, and they're all good size still, so. Glitter all over me. Okay, that's pretty good. There, see, now we have 6. See how my resin's getting a little warm over here, so I better find something to put it in. See how we're doing on bubbles. Oh, definitely need to heat up some bubbles in there. Okay, I do have a couple little things here to do that I've had started for a while. These are little kit. Oh, I can't tip it up and show you. But I can show you these are, if I can get one out, these are skins. This is a skin. Don't know if you can see that very good, but it's a skin. Both of those are, and I'm going to make them into necklaces. Got to get them both out first. I have a cutter that actually cuts these to size. It's like a stamp, like a compression cutter. So I'm going to put a little bit of clear in each of those. Oh, that's an old one. The kids were using my molds, and now I have stuff all over them. So then I just take my tweezers, and I pick one up. Maybe you can see it better that way. That's one side. And this is the other side. And I'm just going to put it down in their nose first. I see a couple pieces of glitter. Because that way all the bubbles burp up the end. And make a tray overflow sometimes. And I'm just going to push that down as far as it will go. And I'm going to wipe the resin back in there that just smooshed over. So that I'm both a little full. Of course, my eyesight doesn't help. Can do the same thing with this one. This one I think is stunning with the gold and the turquoise. It's got gold and turquoise on that side, and gold and turquoise on that side. Which is going to be stunning in the acrylic. Push them down, make sure there's no bubbles under there. Okay, 2 more pieces done.
And I do think that I'm just going to take a chance and pour in this tray because I've been wanting to do it all week. So, move this up here out of the way. Can you see the tray? Okay, I'm just going to get my pointed, oh, I don't have a pointed one here. I'll use my round one just to get it in the corner good. Make sure there's no bubble. Run it along the side, make sure there's no bubbles stuck in the resin. Okay, that's nice and clear. And that resin is getting warm. Put my tweezers back up on my middle strip. Okay, I see a couple of bubbles. Don't want to heat it up too much more because it's already hot. The hotter it gets, the faster it sets up. I'm going to see how these are doing as far as bubbles. Did. Whoops, get my apron in there. Stay in the center. Okay. Those are doing good. Everything's doing good. This is clear. Oh, I was going to put some shells and a little tiny putting some of these little miniature conch shells in there. I'm just going to do one end. Oh, I have a leak. Dang it. I have a leak. Let me see if I can get something on it that will hold. Put a dam up there, maybe that will hold it. I hate leaking resin. Make sure none of my other corners are leaking. I made this out of a cover to a like one of those heart boxes that the hearts came in from Little Windows. Okay, so I got the conch shells in there. Get a baby wipe. Can't do this if my hands are sticky. Okay, dry them on my apron. And then I also have these shells, which are a different type of shell, which are like a flat, round shell. If you can see those, aren't those beautiful? Look at the different colors. So I'm also just going to shake a few of those in there. And then I'm going to put, I have some starfish. I'm going to put a couple of starfish underneath, try to get them underneath the shells, or somewhat underneath the shells. That one I'm just going to lay, I'll put it underneath. Put some shells on it. Turn some of these shells over, kind of arrange different colors here so they can be seen from the front, which is the bottom. I love these little tiger shells. There's little black and white tiger stripes on them. Okay. I'll put another one back in here. And let's see if we can find a tiny one. There's a tinier one, or smaller one. Well, that's not the one I wanted, but that works. There's a tiny, smaller one. Now this isn't just going to be clear. It's going to be clear on the first layer, but not on the second layer. There's one that's broken, so I'll put it over the shell like that, with the shell over it. I think I'm going to name this starfish tray. No, bay. Haha! Bay instead of tray. Okay, I think that's enough starfish. And have you ever walked on the beach and that beach has been covered with jellyfish? Well, I have these little miniature jellyfish. They come like this in a bag, and they each have their own little tubes. And so I'm going to find a tiny, tiny one. There's some, like, look at this one. See how tiny that is? It's a little jellyfish. I'm going to put him on the beach. See how tiny he is? Tiny little jellyfish. Got his little tentacles hanging down there. So I'm going to put him washed up on the beach. In fact, I might put a couple on there. Maybe I'll put a little bigger one so you can actually tell more of what they are. See, this one's a little bigger. And I think I'll put him over here. Okay. The rest of them I'm saving. I also have a little miniature seahorse in there. Somewhere is my seahorse. Jelly, jelly, jelly. Empty tube. I don't know what I'm going to save these tubes for. I guess I could put glitter in them. Jelly, jelly, tube. Teeny tiny little jelly. Jelly, 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 jelly. Of course it's going to be the last one. Nope, it's not. I missed it. Anyway, there is a little tiny seahorse in there somewhere. Okay, I think I might put just a little of this Caribbean turquoise mica powders from Island Micas and More. Thank you, Samantha. These are wonderful. Just a little tiny, this is about empty, but just a little tiny bit sprinkled around in there. And just stir it around a little bit this is starting to set up a little bit. So I can get away with doing this and having it look like, I don't know, water movement. Oh, that's a piece of glitter. I don't know how that got in there. Must have got off my stick. Bubble. Bubble. Yes, I know I'm making bubbles too. Okay, so we have some water movement. This is really going to help it look 3D when I put the next layer on. Okay. Get rid of those bubbles. Okay, and I still have some resin left. Okay, I have my chrysanthemum and some butterflies and some turtles. So I'm going to just put, let's see, let me find some purple alcohol inks in there. And stir it around. Now if you put alcohol ink in your resin and stir it, it will look really smoky. Look at that. See how it looks like smoke? Which I think is so cool. And then I'm going to put a little drop of white pinata, jacquard's pinata white in there. Okay, there's got to be, okay, I thought I poked a hole in that last time. Oh, I think I got gray instead of purple. No wonder it looked smoky. Was that gray? That was... Energized alien. Okay, let's see. How about... I know I've got some purple. We'll put some red in with it. So it'll look like black cherry, maybe. Unless I put enough white in it, and then it might turn a little pink. Not much. Okay, I'm not going to mix it all the way in because I want it to have a reaction once it gets in there. So I'm going to set this so you can see here. Hang on just a minute. Let me move my tray over here. Put my shells away so I don't knock them over. Okay. I'm going to like pull this apart as I fill it once I get it started. Because this is really thick right now. And I should have popped the bubbles because I just see a bunch of bubbles from stirring that. sit there and work its way down. Down in there. Show you what I'm doing here. Pulling it, trying to get it down. There's many layers to this little flower. Okay. This side. Ugh, this color kind of looks like dry blood. That's so awful. That's okay, I'll put a little drop of white on there. Let it do some reaction to the color. Okay. Do these butterflies. I think I'm just gonna scoop some for this tiny, I always end up doing that on these tiny molds. That's okay. Using up my stuff. I hate to waste it. Okay, I'll show you a trick for when you do that. Just hold the mold over your thing and just go straight across it with a stick. That way you can save your stuff that you're wiping off. Okay. Okay. Hopefully there's enough in there for it. If you heat the sides of your thing that you're working on, when your resin starts to set up, it will help release the bubbles. So it helps heat the resin up inside of there. See, there comes one right there. Another one. I can see the bubbles through the side. And there's a bunch more just came up. We've got several on this side. Okay, now I'm just gonna drop it a couple times. See a couple big ones down there that the heat's not helping. So I'll just squish that side. Get a little more heat going on it. This won't get hot enough to hurt your molds. This is what you call a heat wand or an embossing wand. Okay, we'll wait and see if any more bubbles come up. So let me see. What do I want to put a couple? Yeah, I do. I want to put some white around there. See if it'll sink down in there and make some of that other color stand out. And I might add some blue to it. Let's see, blue. Well, that might make it look more muddy. How about this dark green, maybe? Maybe it will sink down on the sides and make it like a pretty cool pattern down the sides. Some white. Don't run over. Okay, I'm going to put some of this, little drops of this in here. And then you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab some of this. Be surprised at how amazing some things can turn out when you do silly things like this because you overrun a mold. Put a little in that butterfly there because I over scraped down this one. Okay, now I know this sounds absurd, but I'm going to stick this stick down in the side. Oh, I can't. It's already setting. It's already setting up. Oh, this side I can. It's not hot down here yet. Got down that side. Broke that silhouette. Come on. There we go. Oh, I'm making such a mess, a mess, a mess, a mess. Got to use up the rest of this. cannot waste it. I cannot, I cannot, I cannot. Oh, it looks like, never mind, I won't say what color that looks like. But it might be beautiful when it dries. And clean these off a little bit. Put a little drop of white in them. Watch the reaction. Maybe they'll end up making little flowers like coasters do when I do this. I mean, look at the reaction when you put the white in over color. Can you see that? Can you see that reaction? Okay, I'm gonna scoop some more out of here with my spatula. Can't get all of it, but I can get enough to do another one of these with. Okay, and then I just lay that down on its side, lay my spatula in it, let everything run down on it, and that way I get to just pull it out and I don't have to wash it. Oh, gotta put some on that one, see what it does. It's green. Let me try this. What color is this? Aqua. Well, I think that's the end of our stuff for now, so I'll be back in 24 hours. Bye.